Good morning. This is Haley Solomon with the North Carolina Housing Coalition. Thank you for joining us this morning for our housing call. And without further ado, I will turn it over to our Director of Housing Policy, Stephanie Watkins-Cruz.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you all are having a good week so far. This call, we are going to use the minutes that we have together to focus on some information around resources for assistance for our friends in the West. I do just want to start off and say that many of you know that our Senior Policy Analyst, Anna Patterson, is in Asheville. We have been speaking with her. She and her husband are safe. Very thankful for that. I know a lot of us have friends and family and loved ones in that area, or we may just really love that area for many, many reasons. So definitely thinking about the folks in Western North Carolina as we continue in the aftermath of Hurricane Helene, and going to see how best we can support everyone there. So I'm going to kick it off by talking about individual assistance. I want to talk through some things that will be really important for folks to either share, get the word out, or make sure that your loved ones know if you're able to talk to them. So FEMA assistance is available immediately after the storm, particularly the individual assistance within the first 30 days is critical to apply for. So FEMA can help with needs, serious needs, things like displacement, temporary lodging, but also home repair costs and personal property loss, especially disaster-caused loss and related needs. So both homeowners and renters, both groups in the affected counties, and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians can apply. I'm going to go ahead and read out the list of counties that can apply, that are in this sort of applied area that FEMA has updates on. So homeowners and renters in Alexander, Allegheny, Ashe, Avery, Buncombe, Burke, Caldwell, Catawba, Clay, Cleveland, Gaston, Haywood, Henderson, Jackson, Lincoln, Macon, Madison, McDowell, Mitchell, Polk, Rutherford, Transylvania, Watauga, Wilkes, and Yancey counties, and the Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians can apply. Again, the first 30 days is extremely critical. In the call notes, we're going to have a link to a video about the 3 different ways to apply for FEMA disaster assistance, but I'm going to also talk through that. So one of the ways you can apply, or your loved ones can apply, is by going to disasterassistance.gov. There's also an app and a phone number. Phone number is 800-621-3362, and it's open from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. daily. This telephone line is open, and help is available in most languages. And there's also a relay service, a video relay service, or caption telephone service if you have that accessibility need. When you apply, or when your loved ones apply, you'll need to have a current phone number when you can get, so that you can be contacted. You'll have to provide your address at the time of the disaster and the address that you are currently staying at, if that is different, your social security number, and a general list or description of the damages and losses, and as well as banking information if you choose to receive your direct assistance via direct deposit. And if you are insured, if you have flood insurance, the policy number and the agent or the company name. Just to highlight, if you do have homeowners, renters, or flood insurance, you should file a claim also with insurance as soon as possible, because FEMA cannot duplicate benefits for losses that are covered by insurance. So if the policy doesn't cover all the disaster expenses, then federal assistance, you may still be eligible for federal assistance. When you are applying, this is for serious needs assistance, which is what FEMA calls it. It's really important to do so in the first 30 days after disaster is declared. FEMA can extend this time to 60 days if the state, territory, or tribal nation in question submits a written request. And so more information on that, if we see that that written request is going to be submitted, we'll obviously let you all know. One thing that we've received some questions on is, okay, there's not service, or I can't get to a computer. There are disaster recovery centers that are that folks are working on setting up. So these are also locations where people can submit or apply for assistance. Immediately, the money that's given, we've been hearing as much as $750 can pay for the emergency supplies like water, food, first aid, breastfeeding supplies, infant formula, diapers, personal hygiene items, and fuel for transportation, but it really depends on the area. If you're wondering who qualifies, you or any person in your household, if they're a U.S. citizen, non-citizen, national, or qualified non-citizen, if your home is in a disaster area, and if you've lived in that home or at that address for most of the year. The amount that's normally given is adjusted annually, but the most recent documents tell us it's $750. Yesterday, if you received our Housing Minute and then our resource post, you'll see that we also released several other resources that I just want to talk through briefly. If you are looking for official state response and recovery information, the North Carolina Department of Public Safety does have a dedicated site for that. And FEMA also has a dedicated site for North Carolina and the impact on North Carolina. The state has activated the North Carolina Disaster Relief Fund. So there is a red banner when you go to the website at the top of the page at nc.gov where you can donate. And then there are several organizations and news outlets that are doing coverage in Spanish for folks that speak Spanish. So Enlace Latino NC.org or BPR.org will include all of those links in the call notes as well. There are several additional resources. There are several hotlines. We've been hearing that there have been some carriers moving into the area to attempt to improve self-service coverage for anyone with a cell phone. So yesterday we heard that T-Mobile is moving into the area and attempting to set it up so that anybody, even if they don't have T-Mobile, can benefit from that self-service improvement. All folks need to do is restart their phone. One thing that we really also want to highlight is that I know it's really hard, and I know personally I'm feeling very helpless. Be very careful. Please do not self-deploy. Please try and coordinate with officially organized entities. Try not to travel to impacted areas without coordinating with these local and state officials, because half of all the roads are blocked or broken, and there are a lot of places that there's no gas, and gas stations are extremely empty. We will provide a link to volunteer opportunities and ways that you can serve and support our friends in the West. Provide a link to volunteering, and there's a lot of great people working on coordinating that. There is also an opportunity to sign up to answer calls for the Crisis Cleanup Hotline for organizations with large numbers of volunteers or supplies for feeding or bringing supplies to people. The North Carolina voluntary organizations that are active in disaster can help you coordinate that, and so we'll include a link to that as well. Also, just want to highlight that I know there are also a lot of links going out around donations and assistance. Be very, very careful on what links that you follow or decide to give money to. Make sure that you or someone that you trust has vetted that list. We are looking into all sorts of donation forms. So like we mentioned, the governor has activated that donation vehicle. We also have been looking through different mutual aid, voluntary organization funds, or philanthropies that are setting up disaster relief funds, both for immediate needs and when we get out of this rescue phase for medium and long-term recovery. Highly, highly recommend Blue Ridge Public Radio. They have been really critical in providing up-to-date information, and they also have a list of various disaster relief funds in the area that are trusted and that people are giving to. Cash donations are obviously best. The businesses that are open are accepting cash only due to the limited to no Wi-Fi. The North Carolina Community Foundation has also been accepting donations for its disaster relief fund, and they will use this fund to provide grants to organizations on the ground in these affected communities to support long-term recovery. So we will be including updated information about these funds and also about other volunteer opportunities as well. There is an opportunity to be a part of, once again, through the North Carolina Voluntary Organizations Active in Disaster, there is an opportunity to be a part of the coordination of supplies being moved from one location to affected areas through the State Business Emergency Operations Center. So we will provide you with the email on how to be involved with that, and we will make sure that if you do email this agency that you include info like what are you moving, why do you need special access, when do you plan to move and from where are you going, and when you might arrive. But again, there are a lot of official channels in which to volunteer and help. I know it's extremely stressful. There are some amazing practitioners already on the ground, some experts trained in rescue and recovery. And so let's make sure to support and not be a hindrance to these agencies. If you are still locating loved ones, I know there are folks that are still trying to get in touch with people. 211 has been assisting folks with reunification. You can also call the Red Cross at 1-800-733-2767 or 1-800-RED-CROSS. To try and locate people in their shelters. The Buncombe County Register of Deeds, in Buncombe County in particular, has also been extremely active, and they have some additional services as well to help find people and find their loved ones. I'm going to stop there. What we're doing in the next few days is we're going to attempt to continue communicating with as many people as possible in the Western North Carolina that are impacted, but also the organizations, our friends, our families that are really anxious to help. We are working on putting together a resource sort of centralized database that is going to include several other centralized resources that are created by people on the ground. And so we just want to try and be sort of one central location for folks this way to find out how they can help and where they can donate, or how folks in the West can get assistance. In the coming weeks, again, as we move out of the rescue phase and move into recovery, we'll also be asking people to check in with us and let us know what you're seeing. In addition to reporting accurate information on what is available resource-wise, we also want to make sure that we're being honest and we're sharing honest accounts of what's happening on the ground. And so you'll be able to see in the call notes when they are posted later today or tomorrow that we will have a link to our database to be able to provide updated information or new information about resources, as well as a form to tell us if you or someone you know is okay and what they're seeing on the ground. That is all we have for today. I hope you all have a great rest of your week, and be safe, and we'll talk to you next time.